I'm Julia Davis, a film major who stumbled into the business world with no experience in 2006. I was able to fail enough to learn how to run a seven-figure business and have provided consulting services to over 200 individually owned companies. Through this podcast, I hope to provide some perspective on the growth and grit it takes to accomplish big goals and share some hard lessons I've had to learn along the way. Welcome to the Growth and Grit podcast. I'm Julia Davis, and today we're joined by a remarkable leader, entrepreneur, community builder, Kelly Lorenzen. She is the CEO of KLM Consulting, Marketing and Management, and that firm blends together marketing projects, consulting to small business owners, and she's had more than 20 years of business ownership experience. She is a philanthropist, a mother, a wife, a breast cancer survivor whose journey has shaped her success and strengthen her commitment to building and helping others thrive. So today we're going to dig into her entrepreneurial journey and how she used a challenge as an opportunity and the mindset that helps her move in the direction of helping other businesses grow. So thanks so much, Kelly, for joining me on here. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about your early days. Like what drew you to entrepreneurship, helping small businesses? Like where did it all begin?
Well, I came out of school. Actually, I grew up in an entrepreneurial house. And even my grandparents, both sides were entrepreneurs. So, in the old days. So I think it was in the genetics. I didn't know anything else other than I knew I wanted to own a business. So came out of school and started a real estate practice, grew it to a very large team, had a partner, and then the market crashed. And I was helping people lose their house instead of buy their dream home. And I couldn't stomach that anymore. It was making me literally physically ill. Burnout, talk about burnout. In those early days, and so I had to make a decision to get, like be acquired or give buyout to my partner. So I did that and went back to the family business and helped them grow and scale and sell the family business. And in the meantime, opened a e-commerce fulfillment house, DME company. We needed a separate business for our family medical practice. So I created that. And then we grew it too much in the office. I was stuck 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, in a sales job in that business instead of it becoming an e-commerce. We had 10,000 SKUs. Couldn't find anybody to manage that for me online. And so had to make the hard decision to close that business because it wasn't fulfilling, wasn't serving my life. It wasn't, I couldn't find enough help. And then looking back, of course, you go, well, actually, if I would have done the SOPs, if I would have done all the systems, if I would have delegated better, shoulda, coulda, woulda, it would have gotten there. So lots and lots of lessons, and then got my certification in project management, 4,500 hours of project management experience, when you own all those businesses. And then was like, well, I might as well start doing what I wished I had in all those other businesses and teach and train and support other small businesses, but that we had the struggles the same, in all those businesses. So that's what started KLM.
And I know we had talked about how you looked for the problems, right? Where you were like, okay, these are all the issues. Like, what do you think are like the 3 to 4 main issues you see in small businesses and how does your company solve them?
So time, right? Business owners run out of time, literally. And if they're not good at delegation, they're not, they want to hold on tight to their baby. They run out of time, and then they get overwhelmed. And then they burn out, and then they have to close. So all of that is, the top 3, 4, right? Is if you learn early enough how to delegate and outsource, you will save yourself time, energy, not burn out, and be able to scale your business. So,
What are like the 2 or 3 like time savers? So if I'm a small business and I'm coming to you and I'm like, okay, I know I need help. What are, like, the major things that you look for on, like, where you guys can step in and help?
So we do a brain dump session, we call it. So they tell me everything they're doing in a day, a week, a month. We make plans and then we say, okay, what can be outsourced? What could we hire an admin? So number one, you need an admin. Like
Yeah.
every single small business owner needs an admin. So what tasks can the admin do? Get those off your plate immediately, get bookkeeping off your plate immediately, outsource your marketing. So there's some really good people out there that can do things faster and better than you.
Yeah.
Even we think we can do everything and we have to hold all the hats. And that's what the book's about that it's coming out next month is like, we're wearing all these hats and business owners don't know how to go, oh, wait, I don't need that hat. I need to give that to somebody else.
So in the books I know you wrote that. Do you have the book handy where you can show us?
It's not printed. I just got the cover today. So,
So it's called, like, "Do What You Love and Outsource the Rest" or something like that, right?
would you love and outsource everything else? Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there, like, a quiz in there where it gives you, like, a quiz of, like, what your strengths are, and then you can decide, like, "Okay, based on these strengths that you have, this is what you shouldn't be doing"?
Yeah, so we at the end of each chapter we do momentum exercises to like move you forward. So here's the chapter, here's what you need to know, learn, do, and then I want you to actually do it. So then it gives you the exercises at the end, and yes, it helps you decide like what things you shouldn't be doing. I have a phrase that's CODA or an acronym: keep, outsource, delegate, automate. So look at your task list and then write those KOD or A next to it. And then let's chunk them out. And then we help them hire somebody. We help them outsource it. We take on some of the stuff. So you can use that acronym. Anybody, any small business owner can use that to try to figure out what the heck they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, that's really good. That's like that time management quadrant. I'm sure you've seen that. It's kind of the same thing. It's like what's urgent and important versus not urgent. We talk about that all the time in business, where you can make lists in each one, and like some of them you shouldn't be doing at all, right? You should just be eliminating the task and other things that
Exactly.
get done for sure.
Exactly.
So, um, you went through breast cancer, and I know you're pretty open about that as far as, we were just talking about how you felt like you were supposed to get it for whatever reason. Um, thank goodness you're better, but, why what's your perspective on that when you go through? Because small business owners go through challenges all the time, and some of them are health related, some of them are really big health challenges. So how did you use that to boost your business or make it better or just improve your overall life?
So, because I had gone through burnout before in other businesses, I had figured out the mindset. I had figured out to build my community up, to build my team up with people smarter than me. So, I had done all the work, luckily, and had it like an insurance policy, set up before I got breast cancer. So it timing couldn't have worked out better. My kids were a little bit older, they were able to help. But it really it's most people who go through something like that. I hear a lot of people who go through major life crises or, health things go, what the heck am I doing with my life? This is terrible. I need to switch up everything. And luckily, I was the opposite. I was like, I'm exactly where I need to be, and it just fueled the fire of like, "Oh my gosh, there's so many more people we can help, so many more small businesses." I wanna make sure all small businesses, like lifting the tide, right? Of like all small businesses, giving them a fighting chance at success. So it just fueled the fire going through that of like, "Good, I'm better, let's do this, hurry up because I got a lot of people to help."
Yeah, kinda like refocuses where your mission is, right? Kinda puts you in a different perspective for sure.
Exactly.
So for small business right now, like people on here, who are maybe feeling stuck or are trying to scale and can't, what's a mindset shift or a strategic move that you would recommend for them if they're just kind of like feel like they're walking through, quicksand?
Right. As we do, as a lot of us do as business owners. Um, the another acronym or another phrase I tell clients is, business owners feel like this is our baby, right? We built something, it's our baby. We don't want to give it away. Everything is like, nope, nope, I got to do it all myself. And that's why they can't scale. Because the sooner you delegate, the sooner you outsource, like, for example, in this business, the first hire I made, we scaled 200% that year. Like, by one person, just outsourcing, just delegating my a lot of my tasks to one person. Imagine now we have 6. Like, how much we can continue to scale every year because I keep offloading stuff off my plate. So instead of give it away, think of it as you're giving somebody else something that they absolutely love doing, right? You're giving somebody else a job. It can be anything. Bookkeeping, ew. Marketing, ew, right? Like, these things you don't like doing anyways. So it can be anything. And then away, it doesn't have to be like put away on a shelf, like you're not going to be able to see it. No, it can be right in your little vicinity, or you have your team, you have your outsourced partners that are really, want to help you grow. And that's going to scale you immediately.
I think about that with, like, TikTok, right? Like, I don't even have a TikTok because I just, like, I don't even wanna be involved in that, but I'm like, "Man, if I could hire, like, an 18-year-old," you know what I mean, to just they would love it. They would literally they'd be like, "This is my dream job to manage this person's TikTok account." Um,
Literally.
because it's just, like, what they would love to do, but for me, I would that would drive me nuts. I would hate it. So when you were talking about that, I'm like, man, every small business, because social media is so prevalent and, reputation building and brand building and all that stuff, I feel like every small business should hire that person if, they're over a certain age where they weren't raised in the TikTok culture. It's like hire that kid right out of high school or right in college as an intern and say, hey, your only job is TikTok and pay them some money and boom, your marketing has exploded, right?
It's really, really important. Really good right there is like find somebody who loves doing a certain task. I tell my team, if you don't like doing something, let's give it to somebody else on the team. I don't care who does what. Like, as long as
Right.
you're good at it and fast, let's do it.
As long as it gets done, yeah. As long as it gets done, it's done well, then great. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Um, okay, so my next question is, you obviously have a lot of roles, right? Like you run a business, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're a philanthropist, whatever. You give to charities. You're all these things at once. How do you balance it all? Like, we talked about time management and obviously delegating and that kind of thing, but how do you like keep your well-being intact when you're having to be all these things to all these different people?
Time blocking. My calendar is color coded. I am always looking at it to make sure like yellow is personal, right? So like, do I have my personal time on either end of my day? Do I have purple, which is exercise, in my calendar every day? Do I have one doctor's appointment, whether it's a naturopath, or going to get my mammograms or like whatever it is? Like, do I have one of those a week or a month? Did I do my stretching every morning? So I'm very particular about my time and my calendar, and very good at time blocking. Just have had to figure that out because otherwise I can't do everything I want to do.
Yeah, I think that's really important and a good skill to build for sure. I'm gonna ask you just some like really quick questions. Just tell me what you think, and you don't have to be quick on answering these. But what's a book or resource that you think every small business should read or reference, besides yours, of course?
Right. Right. Because I have mine. There's a really good book called What is Marketing? I think it's Seth Godin. And most small business owners hate marketing. If you read it and you get enough knowledge around what you like doing and can do, then do that and then get rid of the rest of the marketing, outsource it. So that's a really cool read.
I've heard
And
that
everybody.
before. Yeah, I've heard that before. I haven't read it, but it sounds great. And if you could go back and tell yourself something when you first started, what would it be?
you're gonna make it and you're gonna help a lot of people. So strap in and hurry up and delegate faster.
Was there a time where you were like, "I don't know if I can do this anymore?" I mean, I think every entrepreneur I don't think you can be an entrepreneur if you didn't wanna quit, like, 50 times in the journey. Like, I truly think that's part of it. But was there ever a time or a story where you were like, "Man, I don't know." Besides the 500 SKUs or whatever that was, because that stresses me out, even 10,000 SKUs just thinking about it.
1,000 views. Yeah, that was anytime that I go, you know what, like this doesn't fit my life, this isn't working, then I either pivot, I change what we're doing in the business, or it's done. I'm on to the next thing. I don't like sitting in not the daily like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. Like not that. I'm talking about like major, you're like, this really doesn't feel good. Like this isn't, it's not serving me, and it's not helping other people. It's not helping my family. It's not filling my cup. I get rid of it. I'm done. Like it doesn't, I don't sit long.
Yeah, that's good advice. What's something that people would be, like, surprised to learn either about you or about, like, about experience dealing with small business? Like, what's something that you were, like, shocked to know? Either you can share something about yourself or something about a business.
I think helping others is the best teacher. So going helping all these small businesses, and they all feel the same. They're like, is it just me? And it's not. Everybody struggles. Everybody has imposter syndrome at some point. Everybody, is like, I don't know if I can do this, and has self-doubt. So it's refreshing. I mean, I know it now. Every person that comes to me is like, I gotta tell you something, and they're like, but it's and then it's the same story because we all feel the same way at some point. So don't feel bad that you feel like you're the only one that's struggling. You're the only one that feels like imposter syndrome. Don't feel like that because it is for sure. Every other small business has been through it.
Yeah. What are the 3 roles that you think are the most important for somebody to hire on if you're starting a company? These are the first 3 roles I would for sure hire immediately to help insulate success.
Bookkeeping, accounting, get rid of that. Do not do that yourself.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what, it is not expensive for the amount of time that you are going to try to teach yourself something. That's number 1. Number 2, some operations, somebody who's really good at systems. Like we set up a lot of people's CRMs, a lot of they're paying for all this software and they're not using it. They're like, "Well, I just keep buying thinking I'm going to train myself on how to do it or how to use it," and then they just don't use it. So either, outsource to somebody like us who's really good at systems and processes, or hire an internal employee who loves systems and organization and getting you all streamlined.
It's a really
Uh, so those are 2, and then 3rd is marketing. Like, do not do your own marketing. You don't know how to brag about yourself. You don't wanna brag about yourself, but you need to brag about yourself. They just it just you don't get into business ownership to do the marketing. So why are you doing that? So hire somebody who really likes doing it, which we just really like doing it, you know? But we're kind of the rarity.
Yeah. When you say marketing, what do you mean by that, like, specifically?
I mean, so we say you need to put a blanket effect on your marketing until you really know the numbers, until you know where your business is going to come from. Um, a lot of times, like if we know the industry, if we know we've, owned something like it, then we know 50% is going to come from this, 20% is going to come from this, probably. So we can kind of bet on that. But business owners who don't know, they have to start tracking where their business is coming from. Is it coming from referrals? Is it coming from networking? Is it coming from clients? So all to me, everything is marketing, everything is business development, right? I'm saying it in air quotes, like literally everything you do, your brand, your, engagement on social media, you're showing up to actual networking events. What do you look like? How are you presenting yourself? Are you giving other people referrals? I mean, there's just I could go on and on and on about what's marketing, right?
Yeah.
Um, but you have to figure out what Google ads, Google business profile, like that's just ridiculous amounts of stuff. And you have to kind of put it all out there and do all the things, get it all set up so anybody can find you anywhere they're looking, right? If you're not where they're always spending their time, you don't exist to them. They forget your name. So making sure you have a website that's your storefront and then all the ancillary things and then tracking it and making sure you know your numbers and where your stuff's coming from. If 50% is coming from referrals, then maybe you start doing a referral party like we do, like having your referral partners on and you meet with them every month and you have an ongoing relationship with them. Right? So you just have to kind of figure out what the best way is for your particular business.
Okay. Yeah. And I know you guys really focus on collaboration and connections, right, between people and putting people together in the right rooms and the right contacts, which is the podcast that you run. So, what have you seen grow out of that? And I do think that that's something that's pretty rare at this point, because I think so much can be done online and people are really focusing on online connection and things like that. But there is something about like face to face communication and putting people together and really introducing them and meeting each other. So, can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. I think we always say collaboration over competition, right? Like we all could the community, our world, everything can be better if we work together and we do business with people we like, know, and trust. Like why do it by ourselves? People feel like in entrepreneurship, they're like, oh my gosh, it feels so, I feel so like alone and by myself. Well, that's because you're only spending your time online by yourself trying to build your own business and not talking to anybody. So it just feels, running businesses is hard. Owning businesses and growing them are really hard. So why not collaborate with other people? Why not build the community and relationships. And then when you have a major crisis, you can lean on that community and you can have, like immediately when I had the breast cancer, it was like I needed to be off. I only took 2 weeks off after my double mastectomy and reconstruction. Everybody was like, "What?" But I wanted to get back to like hurry up and help people. You know what I mean? But in those 2 weeks, I didn't have to worry about anything. I had outsourced everything. I had delegated to my team. I had everything set up because I had people around me. So build the relationships is critical to your long-term success when you need anything. You have like oh my gosh, an immediate opening, your marketing person left. What the heck are you going to do if nobody's managing all the things you built? Like let's say you have a, $1 million, $5 million business. Your marketing just stops. Like what you don't do any like, you have to have somebody immediately. Who are you gonna call to be like, "I need an interim person right now?" Well, we obviously do that, you know what I mean? But if people don't know about the resources, then you're just gonna fail or fall on your butt without the
Yeah.
community and collaboration.
So, how does someone like, because I work with a lot of really young business owners, in their early 20s. What advice or how would you tell them to go about establishing those connections and relationships? Like, what would be the first steps they could take to do that?
I would start on LinkedIn. I would build your community, your network on LinkedIn, reach out to them, start to have virtual coffees with them, and then find groups, organizations, networking things, associations, anything like affiliated with what you're doing, and go meet people in real life. Go. I go once a week. I'm always at something once a week. It doesn't have to be like every single day, or it doesn't have to take over your whole life. If you're good about it and you're like, I got to meet people once a week. So, how am I doing that? It's either online in a group or I'm out learning something because I got to keep up with all this marketing. It's crazy, right? And systems and all these softwares. Um, or you're and building your relationships. So, and then come back, connect with them on LinkedIn, follow up with them, have the virtual coffee, continue, giving them referrals, and then it all comes back.
Yeah, that's really sound advice. A lot of the businesses that I work with there's other companies in their territory that do similar things. So even just going to the other person's office or taking their team over there and networking, is just so huge for development because you always learn something by watching other people, you know?
every time. I go anywhere I go, it doesn't matter what thing I go to, I always learn something like, "Wow, I didn't know that." But you wouldn't, but it's just by talking to people.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, this is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all these insights and all your business expertise on here. I really appreciate it. And if someone wants to find your book, when does it come out and where can they
It
find it?
it'll be on Amazon, and it'll be out next month, November 14th or before. I just got the cover. I just approved the cover, so I'm excited about getting it launched. It's just going to be a nice resource for people, for new business owners who don't know or are struggling and they're not getting good advice, or they, want something to give them momentum to keep their business moving forward. So I'm excited.
Well, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much. And I'm going to look for it when it comes out and order a copy for sure.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
well,
you.
every week on the Growth and Grit podcast, we bring you real stories and practical tools to help you thrive through challenges. If this resonates with you, make sure you subscribe, follow, and share this podcast with someone who could use it too. It only takes a second, but it would mean the world to us, and it keeps you plugged in to fresh inspiration.